Good morning, welcome to Paradise Now, Dialogues with the Mother. My name is Sanda Davis and I'll be your host today and in many shows to come. Today's show is called Journey and Love. It combines two of the most important concepts for our lives, the journey and the love, the way the love connections are influencing our journey through life, through the universe, through everything that we wish to accomplish. The idea of looking at everything as a journey came with a show that I had in the beginning of August, when Tru Guy Stefan, a guest on my show, was talking about his journey. Tru Guy Stefan has undertaken a journey across the country that has physical, emotional, and spiritual implications. And he named that journey the journey of the sensitive man. He's talking about the fact that the unsensitive man has hurt everything, the planet, people, himself. But the sensitive man will find ways to honor everything, crossing the country and meeting people and contemplating nature puts him in touch with the planet, with the stars, with the people. Tru Guy Stefan is also not just a man who journeys, but he writes a book called The Journey of the Sensitive Man, and he's also playing guitar, singing, composing songs that are significant to his own life experience, like every artist. In the show that we had with him in August, he was also mentioning the fact that he left for this journey despite the fact that he is very attached to someone that he loves very much. He had to leave behind someone whom he loves very much and see what happens as he's going to look for himself in this journey. In the beginning of today's show, you will see the talks and the song that we had in August in his first presence on Paradise Now. And then he's coming in today's show with updates, new songs that he composed, new thoughts that he had to deal with along his journey. Now, that is significant in itself. As I will comment in the end of the show, I was looking at the fact that his guitar now sounds as alive as his voice, and his body expresses more. Being in touch with nature and whatever he experienced in this journey that he'll be talking about led to a change in improvement in the guitar sound that I mentioned, and of course he'll have to see for himself. But everything we touch better if we evolve, if we complete ourselves in our journey, which ultimately is the journey towards our divine path. The spiritual can get only as high as the divine light that will raise the spiritual. The spiritual level is not for the spiritual level itself. Religion is not for religion. Religion is for the soul. Spirituality is for the spirit, but ultimately we have to develop our divine component, and we have to complete our divine evolution And that is what paradise is for, the meeting of the human elements with the divine elements. The divine in human and the divine from above would lead to the fulfillment of the paradise dimensions, in which one can develop new possibilities for new universe evolution. I noticed that the concept and the good defining of the journey would actually be so interconnected with paradise now, that if I had to have a very long title to my show, it would be Paradise Now, Dialogues with the Mother about our journey. Well, it's too long for a title, but this is what Paradise Now is actually. This is what the dialogues are, to understand who we are, why are we here, where are we coming from, where are we going, and of course, how and why. Because why we journey is so important that the earth can throw off the earth those that want to take the wrong journey. Say, oops, wrong train, you're not harm anybody. No, I'm not taking you to too much future. Everybody has to, on earth, has to choose a journey that is not injuring others, that helps the elevation of others. Otherwise, they'll be like in a train where the security of the train comes and says, no, you cannot be in this train. And you are given that long to correct your ways, or you'll have to get off at the next station, because we cannot have you disturb everybody in the train. Pretty much the same. The earth is journeying through hard times towards a very good time that has to be respected, and everybody in that journey has the possibility, everybody who respects the earth, who respects people, who respects their own religious, spiritual, divine development, and the development of others, to the point where they develop enough to actually continue a divine evolution, they're in the best place. Those who want to do it the right way, they have the help from the earth, and they have their contribution to each other. The earth is fine. The earth can do well with nature, and that's it. But that's not the plan. The plan is for the earth and nature to help everybody to evolve. Everything that we do is part of our journey. We can make it easier for us. We can make it hard. We can make it easier for others. We can make it hard. We are now, however, at a point where we are not allowed to intentionally make it hard for others. We are out of the system that was encouraging those who are harming others. We've traveled through times where we've been overcome by those who were under the illusion that they will be greater if they climb on top of others, and if they make it hard for others, and if they scare others into submission. And as they got in touch with the divine reality, not only they will not be greater, but they would lose any greatness that they could have had if they mistreat others. Jesus was saying that if you want to be first, you have to serve everybody. You have to serve if you have to be great. You have to help if you want to be great. You have to do your duty if you want to be great. Misleading, mistreating, starving others, encouraging the worst in others' lives is only going to shorten your possibilities for evolution. You would block your own possibilities for evolution, and is only going to invite the earth to not do too much for you, everything you do against others and against the planet, against nature, it will affect you personally. Everything you do for others, for the planet, for yourself, will only help you. This is a time to learn extraordinarily good and important things. And this is what Paradise Now is for, is to teach you the things that would allow you long life, better life. I wish you all a beautiful journey with great learning and great good done to yourself and to others.
कार एक्सीडेंट हो गया तिलक के डिग पए की करोगे WSIB मैटर्स क्रिमिनल केसेस ਲਈ ਸਲਾਹ ਕਿੱਥੋਂ ਮਿਲੂ ਆਓ ਦੱਸਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਕਿੱਥੇ ਜਾਵੋ 20 ਬਰਿਆਂ ਤੋਂ ਕਮਿਊਨਿਟੀ ਦਾ ਜਾਣਿਆ ਪਛਾਣਿਆ ਨਾ ਜਸ ਜੌਹਲ ਚੇਤੇ ਰੱਖਿਓ ਆਹੋ ਜੀ ਜੌਹਲ ਲਾ ਫਰਮ ਬੈਰਿਸਟਰ ਟੀਮ ਰਾਜ ਔਰ ਰੀਟਾ ਹੈਗੇ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਸੇਵਾ ਲਈ ਕਾਨੂੰਨੀ ਮਸਲਿਆਂ ਤੋਂ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਹੱਕਾਂ ਦੀ ਰਾਖੀ ਕਰਦੇ ਜੌਹਲ ਲਾ ਫਰਮ ਹੁਣ ਨਵੀਂ ਹੋਰ ਵੱਡੀ ਥਾਂ ਤੇ 10 ਕਾਟਰੇਲ ਬੁਲੇਵਾਰਡ ਯੂਨਿਟ 203 ਬ੍ਰੈਂਪਟਨ 에어ਪੋਰਟ ਐਂਡ ਕਾਟਰੇਲ 905799 ਜਾਂ johalafirm.com ਜੌਹਲ ਲਾ ਫਰਮ ਕਾਨੂੰਨ ਦੇ ਜੋਰੀ
ਕਿਸੇ ਵੀ ਵਜ੍ਹਾ ਕਰਕੇ ਜੇ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਕ੍ਰੈਡਿਟ ਖਰਾਬ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ ਹੈ ਅਸੀਂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਮੌਰਗੇਜ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਦੇਵਾਂਗੇ ਕਿਸੇ ਪ੍ਰਕਾਰ ਦੀ ਵੀ ਮੌਰਗੇਜ ਦੀ ਸੇਵਾਵਾਂ ਲਈ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਸੰਪਰਕ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ
ਅਗਰ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਫਸਟ ਸੈਕੰਡ ਜਾਂ ਥਰਡ ਮੌਰਗੇਜ ਜਾਂ ਫਿਰ ਪ੍ਰਾਈਵੇਟ ਫੰਡਸ ਦੀ ਜ਼ਰੂਰਤ ਹੈ ਤਾਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਕਾਲ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ
ਆਪਣੇ ਮਿਹਨਤ ਨਾਲ ਕਮਾਏ ਡਾਲਰ ਦਾ ਵੱਧ ਤੋਂ ਵੱਧ ਰੇਟ ਲੈਣਾ ਹੈ ਤਾਂ ਇੱਕੋ ਹੀ ਨਾਮ ਯਾਦ ਰੱਖੋ ਅਪਰਾ ਟ੍ਰੇਡਿੰਗ ਨਾਲ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਪੈਸੇ ਇੱਥੋਂ ਭੇਜਣੇ ਆ ਜਾਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਪੈਸੇ ਇੰਡੀਆ ਤੋਂ ਇੱਥੇ ਮੰਗਾਉਣੇ ਆ ਤਾਂ ਅਪਰਾ ਟ੍ਰੇਡਿੰਗ 416 731 7010 416-731-7710 ਅਪਰਾ ਟ੍ਰੇਡਿੰਗ ਡੇ ਐਂਡ ਰੌਸ ਕੰਪਨੀ ਨੂੰ ਟੀਮ ਡਰਾਈਵਰ ਚਾਹੀਦੇ ਨੇ ਟੋਰਾਂਟੋ ਟੂ ਵਿਨੀਪੈਗ 52 ਸੈਂਟ ਮੀਲ ਦੇ ਮਿਲਣਗੇ ਪੈਨ ਟੂ ਪੈਨ ਨੋ ਵੇਟਿੰਗ ਦਲਜੀਤ ਸਿੰਘ ਗਰੇਵਾਲ ਦਾ ਫੋਨ ਨੰਬਰ 647-444-6744 647 444 6744
ਮੋਗਾ ਕਾਰਪੇਟ ਐਂਡ ਫਲੋਰਿੰਗ 30 ਸਾਲਾਂ ਤੋਂ ਮਿਸੀਸਾਗਾ ਤੋਂ ਕਾਰਪੇਟ ਤੇ ਫਲੋਰਿੰਗ ਦੀ ਸੇਵਾ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ ਰਹੇ ਹਨ ਹੁਣ ਬ੍ਰੈਂਪਟਨ 'ਚ ਆਪਣੀ ਲੋਕੇਸ਼ਨ ਖੋਲ ਦਿੱਤੀ ਹੈ ਵਧੀਆ ਸਰਵਿਸ ਤੇ ਘੱਟ ਕੀਮਤਾਂ ਤੇ ਕਾਰਪੇਟ ਹਾਰਡਵੁੱਡ ਤੇ ਲੈਮੀਨੇਟ ਨਾਲ ਆਪਣੇ ਘਰ ਨੂੰ ਸ਼ਿੰਗਾਰਨ ਲਈ ਫੋਨ ਕਰੋ 905 848 2222
Now you will see the old filming of Tru Guy Stefan at the beginning of his journey. Afterwards, you'll see him as his journey continues and the point he's at this time. Thank you for watching, and we're looking forward to bring you more wonderful shows.
I see you in all of your glory. You're a beautiful story unfolding before me. I love you with all of my being, with all that I'm seeing, with all you're releasing. I accept you as you are, allowing you to be. Tell me how it is for you so I can see you standing before me as you write the story that's setting you free. I can see you as you really are. Each of us is born beneath our own star, gets me singing out your name. I see you with all of my being. It has me reeling with all that I'm feeling. And I have faith that you will find your way. I will hold you in your highest every day. I see you in all of your wonder as I surrender to the taste of your splendor. Desire to fuel the fire that's taking us higher. I will always see you as you really are, so each of us can stand beneath our own star. I see you in all of your glory. You're a beautiful story that's unfolding before me.
ਕਾਰ ਐਕਸੀਡੈਂਟ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ, ਤਿਲਕ ਕੇ ਡਿੱਗ ਪਏ, ਕੀ ਕਰੋਗੇ? WSIB ਮੈਟਰਸ ਕ੍ਰਿਮੀਨਲ ਕੇਸਿਸ ਲਈ ਸਲਾਹ ਕਿੱਥੋਂ ਮਿਲੂ? ਆਓ ਦੱਸਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਕਿੱਥੇ ਜਾਵੋ। 20 ਵਰਿਆਂ ਤੋਂ ਕਮਿਊਨਿਟੀ ਦਾ ਜਾਣਿਆ ਪਛਾਣਿਆ ਨਾਂ ਜਸ ਜੌਹਲ ਚੇਤੇ ਰੱਖਿਓ। ਆਹੋ ਜੀ ਜੌਹਲ ਲਾ ਫਰਮ। ਬੈਰਿਸਟਰ ਟੀਮ ਰਾਜ ਔਰ ਰੀਟਾ ਹੈਗੇ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਸੇਵਾ ਲਈ। ਕਾਨੂੰਨੀ ਮਸਲਿਆਂ ਤੋਂ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਹੱਕਾਂ ਦੀ ਰਾਖੀ ਕਰਦੇ ਜੌਹਲ ਲਾ ਫਰਮ ਹੁਣ ਨਵੀਂ ਹੋਰ ਵੱਡੀ ਥਾਂ ਤੇ 10 ਕਾਟਰੈਲ ਬੁਲੇਵਾਰਡ ਯੂਨਿਟ 203 ਬ੍ਰੈਂਪਟਨ 에어ਪੋਰਟ ਐਂਡ ਕਾਟਰੈਲ 905799 ਜਾਂ johalafirm.com। ਜੌਹਲ ਲਾ ਫਰਮ ਕਾਨੂੰਨ ਦੇ ਜੋਰੀ।
ਕਿਸੇ ਵੀ ਵਜ੍ਹਾ ਕਰਕੇ ਜੇ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਕ੍ਰੈਡਿਟ ਖਰਾਬ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ ਹੈ ਅਸੀਂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਮੋਰਗੇਜ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਦੇਵਾਂਗੇ। ਕਿਸੇ ਪ੍ਰਕਾਰ ਦੀ ਵੀ ਮੋਰਗੇਜ ਦੀ ਸੇਵਾਵਾਂ ਲਈ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਸੰਪਰਕ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ।
ਅਗਰ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਫਸਟ, ਸੈਕੰਡ ਜਾਂ ਥਰਡ ਮਾਰਗੇਜ ਜਾਂ ਫਿਰ ਪ੍ਰਾਈਵੇਟ ਫੰਡਸ ਦੀ ਜ਼ਰੂਰਤ ਹੈ ਤਾਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਕਾਲ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ।
ਆਪਣੇ ਮਿਹਨਤ ਨਾਲ ਕਮਾਏ ਡਾਲਰ ਦਾ ਵੱਧ ਤੋਂ ਵੱਧ ਰੇਟ ਲੈਣਾ ਹੈ ਤਾਂ ਇੱਕੋ ਹੀ ਨਾਮ ਯਾਦ ਰੱਖੋ, ਅਪਰਾ ਟ੍ਰੇਡਿੰਗ। ਨਾਲ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਪੈਸੇ ਇੱਥੋਂ ਭੇਜਣੇ ਆ ਜਾਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਪੈਸੇ ਇੰਡੀਆ ਤੋਂ ਇੱਥੇ ਮੰਗਾਉਣੇ ਆ ਤਾਂ ਅਪਰਾ ਟ੍ਰੇਡਿੰਗ 416 731 7710 416 731 7710 ਅਪਰਾ ਟ੍ਰੇਡਿੰਗ। ਡੇ ਐਂਡ ਰੌਸ ਕੰਪਨੀ ਨੂੰ ਟੀਮ ਡਰਾਈਵਰ ਚਾਹੀਦੇ ਨੇ। ਟੋਰਾਂਟੋ ਟੂ ਵਿਨੀਪੈਗ 52 ਸੈਂਟ ਮੀਲ ਦੇ ਮਿਲਣਗੇ, ਪੈਨ ਟੂ ਪੈਨ, ਨੋ ਵੇਟਿੰਗ। ਦਲਜੀਤ ਸਿੰਘ ਗਰੇਵਾਲ ਦਾ ਫੋਨ ਨੰਬਰ 6474446744 647 444 6744।
ਮੋਗਾ ਕਾਰਪੇਟ ਐਂਡ ਫਲੋਰਿੰਗ 30 ਸਾਲਾਂ ਤੋਂ ਮਿਸੀਸਾਗਾ ਤੋਂ ਕਾਰਪੇਟ ਤੇ ਫਲੋਰਿੰਗ ਦੀ ਸੇਵਾ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ ਰਹੇ ਹਨ। ਹੁਣ ਬ੍ਰੈਂਪਟਨ 'ਚ ਆਪਣੀ ਲੋਕੇਸ਼ਨ ਖੋਲ ਦਿੱਤੀ ਹੈ। ਵਧੀਆ ਸਰਵਿਸ ਤੇ ਘੱਟ ਕੀਮਤਾਂ ਤੇ ਕਾਰਪੇਟ, ਹਾਰਡਵੁੱਡ ਤੇ ਲੈਮੀਨੇਟ ਨਾਲ ਆਪਣੇ ਘਰ ਨੂੰ ਸ਼ਿੰਗਾਰਨ ਲਈ ਫੋਨ ਕਰੋ 905 848 2222।
Okay, well, I will also say something just in connection to the previous song about being seen, and which is also part of what has led me into this journey, which is to see people really where we each are in our own authentic selves, in our own development, in our own understanding of life. And that it was really through the relationship I had with a very dear, dear lady, Hollyhock, over the past couple of years, which really, in a big way, really had a big effect on my life and on the choice to go on this journey. And it was us agreeing to really respect each other's sovereignty as two individuals, and that we both had our own unique destiny to follow, even though we are deeply in love with each other. But we respected this individual paths that we had to follow. And part of what that did was that it meant that I was going to go on this journey, and that she was staying in Toronto, committed to her daughter finishing high school, and I came on this journey because of feeling that I needed to step into my own power, and yet in doing so, to not lose my deep connection to being a very sensitive man, and to hold those two things in a balance, and so I'm writing a book right now. It's a multimedia book. It's got songs on it. I've done 9 interviews with people about the subject of the sacred masculine and feminine, and so the book is called The Power of the Sensitive Man, and it's about embracing the feminine aspects and the masculine aspects in a way that is the highest qualities of both, and in a deeply balanced and harmonious sort of relationship amongst the two. And so this journey that I'm on, it just called me to I relinquished all of my possessions. I've come on the road basically with what's in my car is all I have at this point in my life in terms of material things. And I'm totally going on faith and trust. And each place I've ended up has led me to the next place that I'm going. And today, after this interview, I'm actually going to a wildlife sanctuary to meet an indigenous person, a Native American, whose name is White Bear, and I'm hoping to spend some time with him and learn from his culture, and also be a part of helping with the reparation that is currently going on in this country to try to heal the wounds that we've generated with our indigenous peoples. And I just felt that it was important that I speak to someone like this and learn from this shaman. And when that's over, I don't even know where I'll be going from there, except that I'm going north and I'm going out to the west coast. And I'm allowing the spirit to guide me to wherever it's telling me to go. So far, it's been amazing. Each step has led me to the next one, and it's been beautiful.
Follow your trip on Facebook, your journey. We follow your journey on Facebook, and it is inspiring. And to give yourself the freedom to go where the Spirit goes, or the Spirit takes you, that's wonderful. Good morning. Welcome to Paradise Now Dialogues with the Mother. Today we have in studio Tru Guy Stefan. I pronounced it well this time, right? Coming in studio via Skype. From the beginning of the shows, you've seen Tru Guy Stefan singing and talking about the journey of the sensitive man. And now we'll have an update, right?
Lovely, yes.
Yeah, so you must have had some amazing experiences along the way, and we're looking forward to hear about those.
Yes. Would you like me to start now?
Yes, please.
Well, thank you for having me again, Sanda. It's a real pleasure. I am now sitting in a lovely home in Calgary, Alberta. And the last time we spoke, I was in, I think, just outside of Owen Sound. And so it's been a couple of thousand miles have been traveled since that time. And
quite a journey.
Yes. Shortly after I spoke to you,
the last time. I went and stayed, spent some time with a native man, an elder, just outside of Minden, and his name was White Bear. And the first day that we met, we literally sat in the sun for 7 hours and talked. We just talked, and we had this amazing conversation about life, about Native people, about my journey. It was very powerful, and we both shed tears, and we both were elders to each other, and it was so it was really quite a blessing. There was a young man who was volunteering for him there, who was living on 50 acres just outside of Minden as well. And where I was visiting White Bear, he has a wildlife sanctuary, and he rescues animals. And this young man who was there asked if I would like to come and stay at his cabin in the bush, on 50 acres in the bush. So I did, and spent, I guess, about 5 days with him. And, he had been through a very traumatic experience in his travels around the world. He ended up in Costa Rica and had an enlightening experience, basically an awakening experience, very spiritual. But the local people thought he was going nuts. And so they actually called the local doctors, and they came out, and they actually ended up admitting him to a hospital and pumping him full of medications, and it completely screwed up his life. And and he was still recovering from that. So we spent many days, in those 5 days, we spent long hours talking with each other into the evening, where we didn't even turn the lights on. We were just talking in the dark to each other. And he gave me a call about 2 weeks ago and said that as a result now he's stepping back more fully into the world, and things are changing for him and so on. So it seemed to be very important that he and I meet. And so that was a magical encounter. I then left there, went to Sault Ste. Marie, and then, of course, I didn't always go directly, so I would often spend a day or two where I was camping on my own. And then I actually camped for 25 days straight before I finally got a nice soft bed.
Question. What is it about travels that open to more than the daily life? What is it about travels that allow one to find him or herself? You know, pilgrims have to go somewhere. They have to have some place of pilgrimage. You talk about your travel. That man had his travel, that when he had his enlightenment. At the beginning of my own awakening, I was traveling across North America, from one part of North America to the other. And everything was such a learning and such a powerful experience. What do you think that is? You felt it, you experienced it. What is it about traveling?
Well, in particular on this journey, it's been kind of two things primarily. One is that I've been on my own personal spirit quest in this journey, spending long hours with myself, where all you can listen to are the voices in your own head, the questions that you have, the loved ones you've left behind, and what it is that I was open to in being taught as I traveled. So it was this intimate, getting to know myself on a far more intimate level, and being able to navigate moments of sadness, moments of wondering if I was crazy to be doing these things, and wondering where I would end up and who I would meet. And then the second part of what happens on a journey like this is the people that you meet. And
right.
For example, when I went to the Sioux, I stayed on an Indian reservation and with Kevin Najuan, who was a native man, I stayed with his family, and they had a gathering of their extended family over a weekend, and he took me on day trips to explore the land. He spoke about the history of the native people, about what they've been working to overcome in their struggles. So I was really educated in more deeply and more directly in terms of what has been going on for our native people. And I have to say, one of the things that really touched me when I stayed with him was the beauty and graciousness of the children and the relationship they had with their elders and their parents. They embraced me with such a love and a gentleness. And I was very touched, very, very touched. And I had an opportunity to sing for them at their annual gathering, where they cook a meal that feeds everybody that's there. And there was probably, I would say 60 people or more. And they cooked the meal in a garbage can on a fire. And the garbage can is layered with vegetables and so on, and the meat's on the top, and it cooks for 5 hours, and then...
Let's make sure that people know that most likely that garbage bin has never been used for garbage.
No,
It's just a metal containment, but they need something that big because there are no pots of that size.
Yeah, it's just a traditional way of being able to cook a lot of food.
Yeah.
That feeds a lot of people and tastes very good.
I don't want people who hear this to think that people eat from the garbage bins. It's just a huge containment.
They're specially treated garbage cans.
Yeah.
So anyway, it was wonderful. He was very, very generous with me and kind, and we still keep in touch. He's given me contacts to hook up with as I've been traveling. I just spoke to him a couple of days ago, and he's going to line me up with some people around Calgary that I can go and see and visit, and as well as possible elders as well. So after this too, I then encountered a woman that I met on LinkedIn. Out of the blue, she just contacted me and said she wanted to connect. So I said sure, and I told her what I was doing. And the next thing I knew, she said, well, if you haven't come past Marathon, Ontario yet, you can come and visit me, and you can stay at my home, and I have a radio show, and I'll interview you for the radio show. And so we did that. And she even was only there for one day, and she had to go to Thunder Bay, and so left me with her home, only having met me for one day. And I ended up spending the next 3 days in her home by myself, and I didn't actually see her when I left. But while I was there, she invited me to come and perform at the tourist center off the highway. And so I did. I went there, which was also run by Native people, and had a beautiful day of singing for 2 hours and playing the flutes and so on. So it's been rich, every situation, and it just continued. I got to Saskatoon, and I mean, one of the nights that was really interesting was sleeping in a tent in the valley of Kippawa, Indian Head, Saskatchewan, and I was looking for a campsite. It was getting late in the day. I wasn't sure if I was going to be sleeping in the car, and ended up finding this place that was in this valley in the Badlands, and during that night the temperature went down to 8 degrees, and all night I could hear the coyotes howling at each other. And so that was a night of not sleeping too well and going through again in the mind. And I've of course on this trip I've really been missing Hollyhock, my beloved lady, and so I've gone through days where that was quite painful, emotionally painful for me. Was a huge experience in growing internally, in embracing myself, and letting go into where love is something that isn't typical in the sense of, because we both set each other free to follow the destiny that we had to do, and So it's all of these things have played on me in this journey, and then meeting these people, each one of them that I've met has been a real gift. And when I went to Saskatoon, that was when I finally got a bed to sleep in, and there I performed. I did an evening workshop and concert at Yorama Yoga Sanctuary, and had a lovely evening with people. And when I went around the room and asked people why they were there, they said, two men said, "I'm here because of my vulnerable heart," and which really confirmed so much of what this journey has been about for me in terms of the power of the sensitive man.
Mm-hmm. So today's show is about journey and love. Yeah. So as you've met so many wonderful, welcoming people that enjoyed what you had to offer, appreciated what you had to offer, and shared their heart with you, with your journey at least. Their thinking, their view of the world. So in all of this journey, you had to experience love of different kinds and different degrees, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So what can you share with us about the dynamic of journey and love for you?
You know, so much of it has to do with letting go. Letting go into the graciousness of other people, and into their kindness, and being very deeply moved by the people who open their arms to me on this journey. I mean, quite frankly, that's been a really magical part of this whole experience, is experiencing how what I'm doing, not knowing that it's going to have this kind of an effect on people, that people want to support what I'm doing. And
it's a major theme that all experience inside, and it needs to come into the open. After the break, I would like to hear more about that dynamic and about, like I was saying, about the love and the journey, the different kinds of love, and how do you handle the most powerful of loves in the context where you meet many, many other kinds of love. We'll be back after the break.
ਕਾਰ ਐਕਸੀਡੈਂਟ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ, ਤਿਲਕ ਕੇ ਡਿੱਗ ਪਏ, ਕੀ ਕਰੋਗੇ? WSIB ਮੈਟਰਸ ਕ੍ਰਿਮੀਨਲ ਕੇਸਿਸ ਲਈ ਸਲਾਹ ਕਿੱਥੋਂ ਮਿਲੂ? ਆਓ ਦੱਸਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਕਿੱਥੇ ਜਾਵੋ। 20 ਵਰਿਆਂ ਤੋਂ ਕਮਿਊਨਿਟੀ ਦਾ ਜਾਣਿਆ ਪਛਾਣਿਆ ਨਾਂ ਜਸ ਜੌਹਲ ਚੇਤੇ ਰੱਖਿਓ। ਆਹੋ ਜੀ ਜੌਹਲ ਲਾ ਫਰਮ। ਬੈਰਿਸਟਰ ਟੀਮ ਰਾਜ ਔਰ ਰੀਟਾ ਹੈਗੇ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਸੇਵਾ ਲਈ। ਕਾਨੂੰਨੀ ਮਸਲਿਆਂ ਤੋਂ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਹੱਕਾਂ ਦੀ ਰਾਖੀ ਕਰਦੇ ਜੌਹਲ ਲਾ ਫਰਮ ਹੁਣ ਨਵੀਂ ਹੋਰ ਵੱਡੀ ਥਾਂ ਤੇ 10 ਕਾਟਰੈਲ ਬੁਲੇਵਾਰਡ ਯੂਨਿਟ 203 ਬ੍ਰੈਂਪਟਨ 에어ਪੋਰਟ ਐਂਡ ਕਾਟਰੈਲ 905 799 0025 ਜਾਂ johalafirm.com। ਜੌਹਲ ਲਾ ਫਰਮ ਕਾਨੂੰਨ ਜੋਰੀ।
ਕਿਸੇ ਵੀ ਵਜ੍ਹਾ ਕਰਕੇ ਜੇ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਕ੍ਰੈਡਿਟ ਖਰਾਬ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ ਹੈ, ਅਸੀਂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਮੋਰਗੇਜ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਦੇਵਾਂਗੇ। ਕਿਸੇ ਪ੍ਰਕਾਰ ਦੀ ਵੀ ਮੋਰਗੇਜ ਦੀ ਸੇਵਾਵਾਂ ਲਈ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਸੰਪਰਕ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ।
ਅਗਰ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਫਸਟ, ਸੈਕੰਡ ਜਾਂ ਥਰਡ ਮੌਰਗੇਜ ਜਾਂ ਫਿਰ ਪ੍ਰਾਈਵੇਟ ਫੰਡਸ ਦੀ ਜ਼ਰੂਰਤ ਹੈ ਤਾਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਕਾਲ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ।
ਆਪਣੇ ਮਿਹਨਤ ਨਾਲ ਕਮਾਏ ਡਾਲਰ ਦਾ ਵੱਧ ਤੋਂ ਵੱਧ ਰੇਟ ਲੈਣਾ ਹੈ ਤਾਂ ਇੱਕੋ ਹੀ ਨਾਮ ਯਾਦ ਰੱਖੋ, ਅਪਰਾ ਟ੍ਰੇਡਿੰਗ। ਨਾਲ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਪੈਸੇ ਇੱਥੋਂ ਭੇਜਣੇ ਆ ਜਾਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਪੈਸੇ ਇੰਡੀਆ ਤੋਂ ਇੱਥੇ ਮੰਗਾਉਣੇ ਆ ਤਾਂ ਅਪਰਾ ਟ੍ਰੇਡਿੰਗ 416 731 7710 416 731 7710 ਅਪਰਾ ਟ੍ਰੇਡਿੰਗ। ਡੇ ਐਂਡ ਰੌਸ ਕੰਪਨੀ ਨੂੰ ਟੀਮ ਡਰਾਈਵਰ ਚਾਹੀਦੇ ਨੇ। ਟੋਰਾਂਟੋ ਟੂ ਵਿਨੀਪੈਗ 52 ਸੈਂਟ ਮੀਲ ਦੇ ਮਿਲਣਗੇ, ਪੈਨ ਟੂ ਪੈਨ, ਨੋ ਵੇਟਿੰਗ। ਦਲਜੀਤ ਸਿੰਘ ਗਰੇਵਾਲ ਦਾ ਫੋਨ ਨੰਬਰ 647 444 6744 647 444 6744।
ਮੋਗਾ ਕਾਰਪੇਟ ਐਂਡ ਫਲੋਰਿੰਗ 30 ਸਾਲਾਂ ਤੋਂ ਮਿਸੀਸਾਗਾ ਤੋਂ ਕਾਰਪੇਟ ਤੇ ਫਲੋਰਿੰਗ ਦੀ ਸੇਵਾ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ ਰਹੇ ਹਨ। ਹੁਣ ਬਰੈਂਪਟਨ 'ਚ ਆਪਣੀ ਲੋਕੇਸ਼ਨ ਖੋਲ ਦਿੱਤੀ ਹੈ। ਵਧੀਆ ਸਰਵਿਸ ਤੇ ਘੱਟ ਕੀਮਤਾਂ ਤੇ ਕਾਰਪੇਟ, ਹਾਰਡਵੁੱਡ ਤੇ ਲੈਮੀਨੇਟ ਨਾਲ ਆਪਣੇ ਘਰ ਨੂੰ ਸ਼ਿੰਗਾਰਨ ਲਈ ਫੋਨ ਕਰੋ 905 848 2222।
Welcome back. We'll hear Tru now telling us about his love experience, the way he had to deal with the different aspects of love in his journey.
Yes, well, I think love has been impacting itself on me in a number of ways. One is there's love of self, learning to love myself, learning to embrace a deep place within myself in which I could trust and release myself into a faith that the universe has got my back as I've been stepping into this journey, and it has. And so it's also clearly demonstrated to me how great nature, great spirit, and the love that is all around me, that is supporting me all the time. And when I get out of my head and I get into my heart and I trust, and I just let go into that trust and into that faith. I've been shown so much support by circumstance, by things that we would say are just coincidences, but they aren't. It's more of a synchronistic experience of life in which things are meant to happen in a certain way. And then there's just this love that has come from people, which has really shown me in a big way how, much of the time we live in a world that's always so filled with judgment and so filled with presumptions and assumptions about people and about what's right and whether they're someone you can trust or whether they're good people or not good people or whatever. And so much of what this journey has shown me is I've met people who've demonstrated so much love and so much attention and concern and care for me to continue on with what I'm doing, to support me in what I'm doing. Including when I stopped at one place, a gentleman who some would say was kind of a redneck kind of a guy, which if we use that kind of a label. But my car had some problems, and I met him through Kevin sending me a message saying there's a man in the very campsite that you're in who fixes up old cars. Go introduce yourself. So I went and introduced myself. And this man said he wouldn't normally be helping me out, or anyone at this point because he's so busy with what he's doing, but he said the angels told him that he had to help me out. And so he basically, I was actually, due to some rust underneath the car, I had been breathing in carbon monoxide. And he said, you were lucky that you didn't just fall asleep at the wheel. And so he went under, we got rid of the rust, we put what's called blue skin underneath, and he sealed all of that up. He went and looked at my engine, said, no, you need this done, you need that done. He did all this work for me and didn't charge me a thing. And basically renewed my vehicle. So
the angels will have given him a hard time if he charged you.
Yeah, like it
I
was.
said, what are you doing? You're not supposed to charge. This is angel ordained work.
Yeah, no, he was a beautiful angel himself. And I was, so again, appearances, by appearances I might never have associated with.
Oh, you'd be surprised how many great stars and universal beings are in very humble appearance. Yeah. And when you get to know you, it's so humbling.
Yeah. So it was for me, and I was very moved by his encounter. And so it's just been like that. There's been the love of self, the learning to trust and have faith, the love of other people. And then I just spent some time a couple of days ago up in the foothills of the Rockies here, and went for a day by myself to just hike. And while I was standing next to the Elbow River, a gentleman walked up to me, and he had just been sailing for 7 years on his own. And so we had this big, and he's 74 years old, and we had this conversation um, which was a rich, beautiful thing. I actually videoed, I did a little mini interview with him and asked him about what could he share with the world about being a man in the world, and he shared some lovely experiences and advice about values, about when you spend time alone, the love that comes, that the teaching of love is that you begin to rethink your values. You begin to really identify what is really important and what isn't.
In so many ways, particularly when it comes to love, we have to rethink our values. And putting the right values in the right place would give us the kind of love that we can live with.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to hear your songs. We are looking forward to hear your songs. And thank you for being on my show again, in Paradise Now. And we are looking forward to hear more news about your travels.
Yes.
ਕਾਰ ਐਕਸੀਡੈਂਟ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ ਤਿਲਕ ਕੇ ਡਿੱਗ ਪਏ ਕੀ ਕਰੋਗੇ WSIB ਮੈਟਰਸ ਕ੍ਰਿਮੀਨਲ ਕੇਸਿਸ ਲਈ ਸਲਾਹ ਕਿੱਥੋਂ ਮਿਲੂ ਆਓ ਦੱਸਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਕਿੱਥੇ ਜਾਵੋ 20 ਵਰਿਆਂ ਤੋਂ ਕਮਿਊਨਿਟੀ ਦਾ ਜਾਣਿਆ ਪਛਾਣਿਆ ਨਾਂ ਜਸ ਜੌਹਲ ਚੇਤੇ ਰੱਖਿਓ ਆਹੋ ਜੀ ਜੌਹਲ ਲਾ ਫਰਮ ਬੈਰਿਸਟਰ ਟੀਮ ਰਾਜ ਔਰ ਰੀਟਾ ਹੈਗੇ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਸੇਵਾ ਲਈ ਕਾਨੂੰਨੀ ਮਸਲਿਆਂ ਤੋਂ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਹੱਕਾਂ ਦੀ ਰਾਖੀ ਕਰਦੇ ਜੌਹਲ ਲਾ ਫਰਮ ਹੁਣ ਨਵੀਂ ਹੋਰ ਵੱਡੀ ਥਾਂ ਤੇ 10 ਕਾਟਰੈਲ ਬੁਲੇਵਾਰਡ ਯੂਨਿਟ 203 ਬ੍ਰੈਂਪਟਨ 에어ਪੋਰਟ ਐਂਡ ਕਾਟਰੈਲ 9057990025 ਜਾਂ johalafirm.com ਜੌਹਲ ਲਾ ਫਰਮ ਕਾਨੂੰਨ ਦੇ ਜੋਰੀ
ਕਿਸੇ ਵੀ ਵਜ੍ਹਾ ਕਰਕੇ ਜੇ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਕ੍ਰੈਡਿਟ ਖਰਾਬ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ ਹੈ ਅਸੀਂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਮੋਰਗੇਜ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਦੇਵਾਂਗੇ ਕਿਸੇ ਪ੍ਰਕਾਰ ਦੀ ਵੀ ਮੋਰਗੇਜ ਦੀ ਸੇਵਾਵਾਂ ਲਈ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਸੰਪਰਕ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ
ਅਗਰ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਫਸਟ ਸੈਕਿੰਡ ਜਾਂ ਥਰਡ ਮਾਰਗੇਜ ਜਾਂ ਫਿਰ ਪ੍ਰਾਈਵੇਟ ਫੰਡਸ ਦੀ ਜ਼ਰੂਰਤ ਹੈ ਤਾਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਕਾਲ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ
ਆਪਣੇ ਮਿਹਨਤ ਨਾਲ ਕਮਾਏ ਡਾਲਰ ਦਾ ਵੱਧ ਤੋਂ ਵੱਧ ਰੇਟ ਲੈਣਾ ਹੈ ਤਾਂ ਇੱਕੋ ਹੀ ਨਾਮ ਯਾਦ ਰੱਖੋ ਅਪਰਾ ਟ੍ਰੇਡਿੰਗ ਨਾਲ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਪੈਸੇ ਇੱਥੋਂ ਭੇਜਣੇ ਆ ਜਾਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਪੈਸੇ ਇੰਡੀਆ ਤੋਂ ਇੱਥੇ ਮੰਗਾਉਣੇ ਆ ਤਾਂ ਅਪਰਾ ਟ੍ਰੇਡਿੰਗ 416 731 7710 416173177710 ਅਪਰਾ ਟ੍ਰੇਡਿੰਗ ਡੇ ਐਂਡ ਰੌਸ ਕੰਪਨੀ ਨੂੰ ਟੀਮ ਡਰਾਈਵਰ ਚਾਹੀਦੇ ਨੇ ਟੋਰਾਂਟੋ ਟੂ ਵਿਨੀਪੈਗ 52 ਸੈਂਟ ਮੀਲ ਦੇ ਮਿਲਣਗੇ ਪੈਨ ਟੂ ਪੈਨ ਨੋ ਵੇਟਿੰਗ ਦਲਜੀਤ ਸਿੰਘ ਗਰੇਵਾਲ ਦਾ ਫੋਨ ਨੰਬਰ 6474446744 647 444 6744
ਮੋਗਾ ਕਾਰਪੇਟ ਐਂਡ ਫਲੋਰਿੰਗ 30 ਸਾਲਾਂ ਤੋਂ ਮਿਸੀਸਾਗਾ ਤੋਂ ਕਾਰਪੇਟ ਤੇ ਫਲੋਰਿੰਗ ਦੀ ਸੇਵਾ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ ਰਹੇ ਹਨ ਹੁਣ ਬ੍ਰੈਂਪਟਨ 'ਚ ਆਪਣੀ ਲੋਕੇਸ਼ਨ ਖੋਲ ਦਿੱਤੀ ਹੈ ਵਧੀਆ ਸਰਵਿਸ ਤੇ ਘੱਟ ਕੀਮਤਾਂ ਤੇ ਕਾਰਪੇਟ ਹਾਰਡਵੁੱਡ ਤੇ ਲੈਮੀਨੇਟ ਨਾਲ ਆਪਣੇ ਘਰ ਨੂੰ ਸ਼ਿੰਗਾਰਨ ਲਈ ਫੋਨ ਕਰੋ 905 848 2222
ਕਾਰ ਐਕਸੀਡੈਂਟ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ ਤਿਲਕ ਕੇ ਡਿੱਗ ਪਏ ਕੀ ਕਰੋਗੇ WSIB ਮੈਟਰਸ ਕ੍ਰਿਮੀਨਲ ਕੇਸਿਸ ਲਈ ਸਲਾਹ ਕਿੱਥੋਂ ਮਿਲੂ ਆਓ ਦੱਸਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਕਿੱਥੇ ਜਾਵੋ 20 ਵਰਿਆਂ ਤੋਂ ਕਮਿਊਨਿਟੀ ਦਾ ਜਾਣਿਆ ਪਛਾਣਿਆ ਨਾਂ ਜਸ ਜੌਹਲ ਚੇਤੇ ਰੱਖਿਓ ਆਹੋ ਜੀ ਜੌਹਲ ਲਾ ਫਰਮ ਬੈਰਿਸਟਰ ਟੀਮ ਰਾਜ ਔਰ ਰੀਟਾ ਹੈਗੇ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਸੇਵਾ ਲਈ ਕਾਨੂੰਨੀ ਮਸਲਿਆਂ ਤੋਂ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਹੱਕਾਂ ਦੀ ਰਾਖੀ ਕਰਦੇ ਜੌਹਲ ਲਾ ਫਰਮ ਹੁਣ ਨਵੀਂ ਹੋਰ ਵੱਡੀ ਥਾਂ ਤੇ 10 ਕਾਟਰੈਲ ਬੁਲੇਵਾਰਡ ਯੂਨਿਟ 203 ਬ੍ਰੈਂਪਟਨ 에어ਪੋਰਟ ਐਂਡ ਕਾਟਰੈਲ 9057990025 ਜਾਂ johalafirm.com ਜੌਹਲ ਲਾ ਫਰਮ ਕਾਨੂੰਨ ਦੇ ਜੋਰੀ
ਕਿਸੇ ਵੀ ਵਜ੍ਹਾ ਕਰਕੇ ਜੇ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਕ੍ਰੈਡਿਟ ਖਰਾਬ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ ਹੈ ਅਸੀਂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਮੋਰਗੇਜ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਦੇਵਾਂਗੇ ਕਿਸੇ ਪ੍ਰਕਾਰ ਦੀ ਵੀ ਮੋਰਗੇਜ ਦੀ ਸੇਵਾਵਾਂ ਲਈ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਸੰਪਰਕ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ
ਅਗਰ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਫਸਟ ਸੈਕਿੰਡ ਜਾਂ ਥਰਡ ਮਾਰਗੇਜ ਜਾਂ ਫਿਰ ਪ੍ਰਾਈਵੇਟ ਫੰਡਸ ਦੀ ਜ਼ਰੂਰਤ ਹੈ ਤਾਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਕਾਲ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ
ਆਪਣੇ ਮਿਹਨਤ ਨਾਲ ਕਮਾਏ ਡਾਲਰ ਦਾ ਵੱਧ ਤੋਂ ਵੱਧ ਰੇਟ ਲੈਣਾ ਹੈ ਤਾਂ ਇੱਕੋ ਹੀ ਨਾਮ ਯਾਦ ਰੱਖੋ ਅਪਰਾ ਟ੍ਰੇਡਿੰਗ ਨਾਲ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਪੈਸੇ ਇੱਥੋਂ ਭੇਜਣੇ ਆ ਜਾਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਪੈਸੇ ਇੰਡੀਆ ਤੋਂ ਇੱਥੇ ਮੰਗਾਉਣੇ ਆ ਤਾਂ ਅਪਰਾ ਟ੍ਰੇਡਿੰਗ 416 731 7710 416173177710 ਅਪਰਾ ਟ੍ਰੇਡਿੰਗ ਡੇ ਐਂਡ ਰੌਸ ਕੰਪਨੀ ਨੂੰ ਟੀਮ ਡਰਾਈਵਰ ਚਾਹੀਦੇ ਨੇ ਟੋਰਾਂਟੋ ਟੂ ਵਿਨੀਪੈਗ 52 ਸੈਂਟ ਮੀਲ ਦੇ ਮਿਲਣਗੇ ਪੈਨ ਟੂ ਪੈਨ ਨੋ ਵੇਟਿੰਗ ਦਲਜੀਤ ਸਿੰਘ ਗਰੇਵਾਲ ਦਾ ਫੋਨ ਨੰਬਰ 6474446744 647 444 6744
ਮੋਗਾ ਕਾਰਪੇਟ ਐਂਡ ਫਲੋਰਿੰਗ 30 ਸਾਲਾਂ ਤੋਂ ਮਿਸੀਸਾਗਾ ਤੋਂ ਕਾਰਪੇਟ ਤੇ ਫਲੋਰਿੰਗ ਦੀ ਸੇਵਾ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ ਰਹੇ ਹਨ। ਹੁਣ ਬਰੈਂਪਟਨ 'ਚ ਆਪਣੀ ਲੋਕੇਸ਼ਨ ਖੋਲ ਦਿੱਤੀ ਹੈ। ਵਧੀਆ ਸਰਵਿਸ ਤੇ ਘੱਟ ਕੀਮਤਾਂ ਤੇ ਕਾਰਪੇਟ, ਹਾਰਡਵੁੱਡ ਤੇ ਲੈਮੀਨੇਟ ਨਾਲ ਆਪਣੇ ਘਰ ਨੂੰ ਸ਼ਿੰਗਾਰਨ ਲਈ ਫੋਨ ਕਰੋ 905 848 2222।
Life is a byway, a winding highway, a lesson in learning, to choose. How will I think? And how will I feel when I'm open to all of you? Without reservation and with no expectation, I will open my heart to you. I choose to be very still, so all that is good may be understood in everything I do, like in these moments that I have with you.
ਕਾਰ ਐਕਸੀਡੈਂਟ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ, ਤਿਲਕ ਕੇ ਡਿੱਗ ਪਏ, ਕੀ ਕਰੋਗੇ? WSIB ਮੈਟਰਸ ਕ੍ਰਿਮੀਨਲ ਕੇਸਿਸ ਲਈ ਸਲਾਹ ਕਿੱਥੋਂ ਮਿਲੂ? ਆਓ ਦੱਸਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਕਿੱਥੇ ਜਾਵੋ। 20 ਵਰਿਆਂ ਤੋਂ ਕਮਿਊਨਿਟੀ ਦਾ ਜਾਣਿਆ ਪਛਾਣਿਆ ਨਾਂ ਜਸ ਜੌਹਲ ਚੇਤੇ ਰੱਖਿਓ। ਆਹੋ ਜੀ ਜੌਹਲ ਲਾ ਫਰਮ, ਬੈਰਿਸਟਰ ਟੀਮ ਰਾਜ ਔਰ ਰੀਟਾ ਹੈਗੇ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਸੇਵਾ ਲਈ। ਕਾਨੂੰਨੀ ਮਸਲਿਆਂ ਤੋਂ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਹੱਕਾਂ ਦੀ ਰਾਖੀ ਕਰਦੇ ਜੌਹਲ ਲਾ ਫਰਮ ਹੁਣ ਨਵੀਂ ਹੋਰ ਵੱਡੀ ਥਾਂ ਤੇ 10 ਕਾਟਰੈਲ ਬੁਲੇਵਾਰਡ ਯੂਨਿਟ 203 ਬ੍ਰੈਂਪਟਨ 에어ਪੋਰਟ ਐਂਡ ਕਾਟਰੈਲ 905 799 0025 ਜਾਂ johalafirm.com। ਜੌਹਲ ਲਾ ਫਰਮ ਕਾਨੂੰਨ ਦੇ ਜੋਹਰੀ।
ਕਿਸੇ ਵੀ ਵਜ੍ਹਾ ਕਰਕੇ ਜੇ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਕ੍ਰੈਡਿਟ ਖਰਾਬ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ ਹੈ, ਅਸੀਂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਮੋਰਗੇਜ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਦੇਵਾਂਗੇ। ਕਿਸੇ ਪ੍ਰਕਾਰ ਦੀ ਵੀ ਮੋਰਗੇਜ ਦੀ ਸੇਵਾਵਾਂ ਲਈ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਸੰਪਰਕ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ।
ਅਗਰ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਫਸਟ, ਸੈਕੰਡ ਜਾਂ ਥਰਡ ਮਾਰਗੇਜ ਜਾਂ ਫਿਰ ਪ੍ਰਾਈਵੇਟ ਫੰਡਸ ਦੀ ਜ਼ਰੂਰਤ ਹੈ ਤਾਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਕਾਲ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ।
ਆਪਣੇ ਮਿਹਨਤ ਨਾਲ ਕਮਾਏ ਡਾਲਰ ਦਾ ਵੱਧ ਤੋਂ ਵੱਧ ਰੇਟ ਲੈਣਾ ਹੈ ਤਾਂ ਇੱਕੋ ਹੀ ਨਾਮ ਯਾਦ ਰੱਖੋ, ਅਪਰਾ ਟ੍ਰੇਡਿੰਗ। ਨਾਲ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਪੈਸੇ ਇੱਥੋਂ ਭੇਜਣੇ ਆ ਜਾਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਪੈਸੇ ਇੰਡੀਆ ਤੋਂ ਇੱਥੇ ਮੰਗਾਉਣੇ ਆ ਤਾਂ ਅਪਰਾ ਟ੍ਰੇਡਿੰਗ 416 731 7010 416 731 7710 ਅਪਰਾ ਟ੍ਰੇਡਿੰਗ। ਡੇ ਐਂਡ ਰੌਸ ਕੰਪਨੀ ਨੂੰ ਟੀਮ ਡਰਾਈਵਰ ਚਾਹੀਦੇ ਨੇ। ਟੋਰਾਂਟੋ ਟੂ ਵਿਨੀਪੈਗ 52 ਸੈਂਟ ਮੀਲ ਦੇ ਮਿਲਣਗੇ, ਪੈਨ ਟੂ ਪੈਨ, ਨੋ ਵੇਟਿੰਗ। ਦਲਜੀਤ ਸਿੰਘ ਗਰੇਵਾਲ ਦਾ ਫੋਨ ਨੰਬਰ 6474446744 647 444 6744।
ਮੋਗਾ ਕਾਰਪੇਟ ਐਂਡ ਫਲੋਰਿੰਗ 30 ਸਾਲਾਂ ਤੋਂ ਮਿਸੀਸਾਗਾ ਤੋਂ ਕਾਰਪੇਟ ਤੇ ਫਲੋਰਿੰਗ ਦੀ ਸੇਵਾ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ ਰਹੇ ਹਨ। ਹੁਣ ਬਰੈਂਪਟਨ 'ਚ ਆਪਣੀ ਲੋਕੇਸ਼ਨ ਖੋਲ ਦਿੱਤੀ ਹੈ। ਵਧੀਆ ਸਰਵਿਸ ਤੇ ਘੱਟ ਕੀਮਤਾਂ ਤੇ ਕਾਰਪੇਟ, ਹਾਰਡਵੁੱਡ ਤੇ ਲੈਮੀਨੇਟ ਨਾਲ ਆਪਣੇ ਘਰ ਨੂੰ ਸ਼ਿੰਗਾਰਨ ਲਈ ਫੋਨ ਕਰੋ 905 848 2222।
this silence, in the caverns of my heart, where symphonies are painting their melodious art. I am the palette, spirit is the brush, blending all the colors of a dream I cannot rush. I lay it all before you, the missing pieces of my soul. I lay it all before you,